Humm, baby. Enjoy this great game.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Humm Baby Baseball channel. This is Eric, and today we're talking about MadBum, San Francisco Giants legend, longtime workhorse for the Giants, and now he just signed a 5-year deal with the Diamondbacks. But unfortunately, he's not off to a great start over in Arizona. Diamondback fans are very concerned about what they're seeing. It is early. He's only had 3 starts. Got to keep that in mind. But there's a lot of things to be worried about. There's no doubt about that. He's not off to a great start, but it's not like he's been absolutely horrific the entire time. His first start against the Padres, he did get through 5 2/3, gives up 4 hits, 3 runs. Not great. 3 walks, struck out 4. I mean, it's not a great game, but it wasn't an absolutely terrible game. Gave up 3 runs in 5 2/3. He faced 20 batters, gave up just 4 hits, struck out 4. For me, as far as I'm concerned, a first start after a long break, didn't have much of a spring training. And remember, MadBum doesn't usually pitch that great in spring training. It takes him a while to get going. I didn't think much of that. His second start at Texas, went 5 1/3. Again, over 5 innings early in the season on his second start, gives up just 2 runs and struck out 5. But he did hit a batter. But still, I didn't think he was absolutely terrible or anything. I thought he was on track for a good, solid start yesterday against the Houston Astros. It did not happen in his home opener at Arizona. He got lit up 4 1/3. He still got through 4 1/3, but he gives up 7 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned. Walked a couple, only struck out 2, gives up 2 bombs. This one here to Altuve, and it was just a terrible start. Doesn't mean that this contract is screwed and this guy's just done for. What the fuck is that huge fuck? Did you see that? It doesn't mean he's done for. It doesn't mean it's a terrible contract just yet. But yeah, of course there's reason to be concerned. And it's not just because he had a terrible game yesterday against the Astros. It's because he's actually been declining for a while. Statistically, he had the 2 injuries. He had the dirt bike accident, and then the next season he gets hit in the hand with a line drive in spring training. And although he was able to come back and still throw pretty well for the Giants, the advanced stats didn't look great. He was a workhorse for so long. He would top 200 innings every single season. But remember, he's in his 20s during that time. He is now 31 years old. And he has a ton of innings logged. I mean, including playoff baseball. Think about how many times the Giants made the playoffs and made deep playoff runs. They had 3 World Series championships that he was a part of. From 2013 to 2016, he had a combined 2.86 ERA. Constantly keeping that ERA under 3 and just being more than solid in the regular season and absolutely dominant in the postseason. That ERA started climbing, 3.32, then 3.26, and last year 3.9. Velocity's been dropping, which I didn't think was that big a deal because his velocity actually dropped for the first time while he was in the minor leagues. I remember people were worried like 2008, 2009. Oh my God, Madison Bumgarner, he's not throwing 99 like we thought. He's only throwing, mid-90s. What happened? Well, he ended up being awesome for us anyway. So he's not a guy who totally relies on velocity. However, if it drops too low, you're going to notice the effect. You can't get by on a 91, 90 mile an hour fastball when you're Madison Bumgarner. You're not going to get by as well anyway, and it's showing. And after that rough start against the Astros, his ERA has ballooned up to 7.04. Not good. He leads the league in hits batsmen. He leads the league in earned runs. Not good. But I'm saying it's 3 starts. His first 2 starts weren't that bad. And I'm not saying I think that this is going to end up being a great deal for the Diamondbacks. If I had to guess, probably not going to be a great contract for the Diamondbacks. Again, he's 31. He has 1 million innings logged. The guy was so great for so long. But you can kind of see the signs that he was starting to decline. I'm rooting for him, and I hope he can turn it around, even though he's still in the same division as the Giants. So I probably shouldn't wish for that, but I can't help it. I'm wishing MadBum the best, but he's definitely showing some signs of aging and some signs that, maybe that arm, even though he's 31, that arm probably is like 34, 35. So it's not too surprising. This happens. You can't stop it. But he might still have a good season or 2 in him, and especially if the D-backs get into the playoffs, you're going to want Bumgarner out there. Because remember, I'll say it like Ty Cobb once said, it's not an exact quote, but he said something along the lines of, look, a big part of the reason that I was so great, Ty Cobb said, was because of his mental attitude and his determination, and he wasn't scared of anything, and then he went out there 100%. And, especially in the playoffs, this is a guy, Bumgarner, who's shown that type of attitude. Hey, like Yogi Berra said, 90% of the game is half mental. And Yogi said it, so you know it's true. But I'm just saying that MadBum is someone I think you would want in there during the playoffs, at least this year, next year. I can't speak for when he's 33, 34, 35 at the end of this contract, 36. Who knows? He may not make it through the contract. Obviously, they're going to have to pay him, but they may trade him or do something else. We don't know how it's going to work out. But I'm rooting for MadBum. He's off to a really rough start. I believe in MadBum, at least, that he's going to turn it around this year. So Diamondbacks fans, I wouldn't be too down on this start. I really do believe he's going to have his good start. It only takes one. If he comes out next game and throws 7 innings, gives up 1 run or something, and y'all win the game, it's going to be a totally different attitude. We always think of what we saw most recently. And right now what we saw was he got completely lit up. Just gauging the thoughts of some of the fans out there, Madison Bumgarner's been washed for years. The contract the D-backs gave him was absurd. Thank goodness the Yankees knew better than to even consider him. Then the reply, probably not the brightest of contracts from how he's doing right now, but he's also only 31, younger than DeGrom, which is hard to believe because it feels like Madison's been in the league for 20 years, so he's still young and can prove himself. We'll see. Benny Benjamin, where are all the Farhan bashers now? He let Bum sign a terrible contract with another club, something Sabian wouldn't have done. Traded for Yaz, who, by the way, is amongst the league's best in WAR through a fifth of the season. And that is a very strong point right there, no doubt about that. Future Dodgers, not to overreact to one start, but Bum's fastball averaging only 87.9, maxing out at 89.8 last night, would be concerning if theoretically your team just signed him to a 5-year contract last winter. Definitely some solid points over there on Twitter. It doesn't look great if you look at everything, but at the same time, you got to have faith in a guy that he's going to turn it around and figure something out. He's obviously a fantastic pitcher, and he's going to give you his share of good starts. Maybe he shouldn't be a number 1 guy. He's probably not. Let's be honest. He's not an ace right now in his career. He's probably even not a number 2 guy, but there's 5 rotation spots. You don't think that Bumgarner's perfectly fine for a rotation in the 3, 4, or 5 slot? I would say yes. Problem is he's getting paid like an ace for 5 years. That's the problem that the Diamondbacks have and may continue to have if he really doesn't turn it around and start pitching better. But that's where we're at with Madison Bumgarner right now. Hang in there with MadBum, D-backs fans. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up button. We're going to talk to you really soon. See ya!
When the Giants come to town, it's bye-bye, baby. Every time the chips are down, it's bye-bye, baby. History's in the making at Oracle Park.